Okay, y'all. So I'm back. This is Fiona Golden, Fiji rated, and I wanted to come on here for first of all, my previous video. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, why did I have the video turned this direction versus it being recorded this direction? But I wanted to get on here to kind of like give you an update of what's going on as far as my GLP-1 journey, and I wanted to again come and reaffirm that we are in this together. And for me, what does that mean? It means, like, what are the things that you're struggling with? And what are the things that kind of like appeal to you, doesn't appeal to you? And I'll give you a bit of an example of what it is that I mean. So I've read information that talks about, okay, when you are doing your like protein intake and you have to like increase it to make sure that you are making up for, body strength and things of that nature. And again, I'm not a doctor, so I won't sit here and pretend as if I know anything from a medical profession. It's just me doing my own research and me coming here and kind of like going over what it is that appeals to me. And one of the things that we talked about, or that I discovered, is that people say sometimes in order to be successful with your GLP-1 journey, you have to sometimes consume some of the same types of protein, some of the same types of meals. So if chicken, broccoli, some type of starch, maybe like a meal prep perspective. But I would just be honest with you, like that's not my twist. That's not my thing. So I like to look into, variety. And when it comes to food, maybe not everything in life, but when it comes to food, variety is the spice of life. So I like to be able to have, chicken, salmon, beef, things of that nature, as far as like switching it up and introducing different proteins. I also wanted to know, how are you handling your food noise? Are you increasing your dosage so like for me, because I'm on mochi, although I see the weight kind of like slowly coming off, it hasn't completely eliminated the food noise. And, I don't know if that's like an indicator for me to maybe increase my dosage. I'm going to talk to my doctor, because I feel like that's one of the best things that comes along with mochi, is that we have access to a physician, as well as a dietitian or a nutritionist, that can kind of like help you through the process. The other thing that I wanted to kind of like ask you about, and again, this is kind of like for me saying can be an open dialogue. I'm going to continue to do my research so that I can bring you a bit more information as I learn and go through this journey. But one of the things that was of interest to me is what happens when you, I don't know, begin your journey and you begin to experience some of those symptoms that they kind of like warn you about. So anything that has to do with being nauseous, anything that has to do with, as far as your bathroom routine and any changes in there that could, impact you and how you feel about moving forward with it. For me, I can honestly say that I haven't like really experienced a lot of anything that has to do with me feeling like I'm nauseous or whatever the case may be. But I also was one of those people that when I was pregnant with both of my sons, I didn't really have like a lot of nausea during my pregnancies. But I will say, again, without getting too much in the nitty gritty of the details, that it does kind of like change your bathroom routine and just the way that your movements are, for just trying to make sure that we keep it above board for YouTube and platform perspectives. But I was just curious as to know, like, hey, when you hit certain roadblocks or when you feel a certain way, or when your body is basically telling you something, do you push through? Do you sit back and try to maybe slow it down? Maybe instead of taking your injection every week, you kind of like maybe start off with every other week, or do you take the approach of like maybe looking into what it is that you're eating and making sure that you're consuming the right types of food that should be consumed while you are taking your GLP-1? Because again, this is a lifestyle change. This isn't just you taking some sort of magic injection and thinking that, okay, I'm going to lose this weight and continue on with the same habits and behaviors, eating habits and behaviors that I've had prior to me looking to this product to help me. So it's just always good to kind of like talk that out and make sure that people are aware that you do have to change. You can't sit back and continuously consume that greasy food, that greasy products and things of that nature. Like, your gut will feel that. Your body will tell you that, hey, you know, what I'm consuming is not the best. And by the way, you know, I'm trying something else different as far as, you know, daytime lighting helps out with, of course, that natural light that comes in. But what you think about, you know, me trying this different type of lighting in the background? Is it giving Bruce Leroy and, you know, I Am the Master? I don't know how many people would get that reference, but, you know, if you know, you know. But anywho, back to, I guess, my journey with mochi. So again, just wanting to reiterate that for me, I started off at 100, a little over 180. My ideal goal weight is to be about 150. And the last time that I was on the scale, because I'm not really I actually had to go out and get a scale because I was not the type of person who was weighing myself. I don't weigh myself constantly. I feel like sometimes approaching it that way just becomes depressing because you're supposed to like weigh yourself like kind of like the same time every day. If you miss that window, well, not every day, but if you miss that window of opportunity, it could throw you off as far as like if your cycle is coming on, and for women, and a number of other things, number of other factors that could contribute to a fluctuation in your weight loss and what it reflects on the scale. For me, the goal is, and the goal will continue to be, how do I feel when I look in the mirror? How do I feel when I see myself in photos? How do I feel when I see myself in other people's photos? Because a lot of times I feel like I'm able to hold my arm, extend myself in a way where when I'm taking that footage, I'm able to see like, hey, I like this angle. I like this, you know, the way that I appear in these photos. And then someone else takes that picture, and it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different story. And I shared in my previous video that someone slid into my DM, sent me a photo. She felt like she was providing me from her perspective. She doesn't know me. She doesn't know that I'm on a bit of a weight loss journey. She doesn't understand, you know, the trials and tribulations. So from her perspective, when I mentioned something about, oh, I don't like the way that I necessarily look in that photo, her response was, you look great to me. You look fantastic. But she's not using the same critical eye that I'm using about myself and where it is that I'd like to be. And it's more so just, again, being happy in my own skin. I am, for the most part, a very happy in my skin person. But that critical eye, that critical nature that many of us have, I have that, and I would like to be at a certain weight. I have a certain goal. I have certain ideas. I can't wait until my goal is achieved. And my biggest problem that I have is replacing items in my wardrobe because I can no longer fit it. But I ain't no fool. I ain't gonna sit back and get rid of clothes that, you know, depending on how life comes at you, and life comes at you fast. I don't want to sit back and kind of like play myself and get rid of things that I would need in my closet. So again, I want you to join me. I want to have like these real talks, these real conversations. I want to be able to check in. I want you to ask me questions. I want you to kind of like get in on this with me and Mochi. I'll make sure that the information is linked in. I want you to, I'm sorry, it's not LinkedIn. I don't want you to go to that platform. I will make sure that the link to the Mochi is listed in my description. Let me try this again. I want to make sure that the description contains the link to Mochi. And remember, you get $40 off of your first month supply with the product. So again, we are in this together. We are all that we got. we can do this together. We can achieve goals. And I just want to make sure that you are happy and want to be on this journey as well. So thank you for my little not so TED talk. And I look forward to where this journey will take us. Again, I will be 50 years old this year. And I know that what I want to achieve and attain when I am 50, because yes, I have dreams, I have goals, I have aspirations, I have ideas, and I can't wait to see all of that executed through flawlessly. And I also want to make sure, things like, no bat wings. I got to sit back and make sure I get into that strength training and stuff like that too. Like, it's just a lot. It's just a lot that we have to look into. But, one day at a time, one bit at a time. Don't bite off more than you can chew. So again, thank you for your time, and hopefully we will be able to join in this journey together. And again, look at the description for more information and details regarding how you can partner and become part of the Join Mochi family. And we can do this together. All right, bye.